All right. Let's unlock some of those ancient secrets,
Um,
financial wisdom that stood the test of time. We're diving deep into the richest man in Babylon today. But not just to rehash this story, right? This deep dive is about pulling out that timeless advice Clason weaves into those parables and seeing, how it applies to your life, like today.
it's amazing how relatable those stories still are, even after all these years,
Oh,
right?
thousand.
Yeah. Clason doesn't just preach at you about financial principles. He embeds them in these really human stories.
And that's what makes it so readable, right? Right away, we meet Bansier.
Yeah.
He's a chariot builder. He's feeling a little down on his luck. You know that feeling, right? When you want a fatter wallet, but it's like you're pushing a chariot uphill with one wheel missing.
Oh,
Clason he captures that feeling, that financial frustration so well.
he does. And he does it by introducing us to a character I think we all know.
Yeah.
Cobby the musician.
Like hobby.
Always borrowing money.
Right.
Always in need.
Yeah.
But it's such a simple setup, but it highlights such a profound truth about wealth.
Okay, so unpack that a little bit. What's the bigger message behind Cobby's perpetual need for a loan?
Basically, it all comes down to having money versus building wealth. See, having a full purse today doesn't mean much if you don't have income coming in. That's the foundation. And it's something that Arkad, the richest man in Babylon, understands very, very well.
And this is where it gets really, really interesting. Because Arkad, in his wisdom, reveals what he calls 7 cures for a lean purse. And they're really strategies. Timeless strategies, not just for getting by, but for actually building lasting wealth. So it's like you're standing there in ancient Babylon. You're about to get some advice from the richest man around.
Right.
What's he going to say?
Yeah.
And the first thing out of his mouth is, pay yourself.
That's cure number 1. Start thy purse to fattening. Seems like such a simple concept, but,
Yeah, it's so important.
do the prioritize yourself.
It's really a mental shift more than anything.
Totally. It's understanding that your financial well-being important, and you have to put yourself first. Before you even think about spending anything else, Arkad says, put aside at least 10% of everything you earn. And that's the seed of your future wealth right there.
And it is like planting a date tree or something.
Yes.
You're not going to get dates if you keep digging at the seed to see if it's sprouted yet. Like, you got to let it grow.
You got to let it grow. And just like tending a garden, it's not just about that one seed growing your wealth. It takes more than that. It takes building these healthy habits.
Oh, for sure.
And it takes cultivating those things.
Yeah.
And that actually leads us to the second cure. Control thy expenditures.
Okay, so unpack that one a bit. What does he mean by controlling expenditures? Is this like, live this life of deprivation?
No, not at all. It's not about deprivation. It's about being mindful of what you need versus what you want, your needs and your desires.
Okay.
And it all comes down to creating a budget.
A budget.
It's like this. Imagine a chariot, right? But it has way too much weight on it. It's going to really struggle to move forward.
You got to lighten the load.
You got to lighten the load. Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what budgeting is, right? It helps you see where is all this unnecessary expenditure, this weight that's keeping me from moving towards my goals. And once you have that clarity, you can start thinking about, all right, how do I put my savings to work?
Yes. And that's where cure number 3 comes in. Make thy gold multiply.
Yes.
This is where things get exciting.
This is the fun part. Right. Investing. Arkad really stresses that, but he also cautions against jumping in blindly. He gives an example of his own.
Yeah, he did.
Early on,
Yeah.
made a big mistake.
Yeah.
Which I think just shows that even the wealthiest people can stumble.
You can make mistakes.
You can. Everyone makes mistakes. It's about learning from them. And he really emphasizes finding those people, people who have already walked the path.
Right.
The people who have cultivated that wisdom, right? Not the people who are promising these get-rich-quick schemes.
Right, exactly.
And also, another important thing, don't put all your eggs in one basket.
That's right. Diversify.
Diversify, exactly. Don't put all your gold in one caravan.
Ooh, I like that.
Right.
That's good. Okay, so we've got saving, budgeting, and investing wisely. But he doesn't stop there, does he?
No. Protecting what you've earned
Right.
is just as important as growing it.
Yeah.
That's cure number 4. Guard thy treasures from loss. Even in ancient Babylon, there were risky schemes and shady characters.
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. People looking to make a quick profit off of others' misfortunes.
It's like that saying, if it sounds too good to be true,
It probably is.
It probably is.
Exactly. And so, Arkad emphasizes due diligence.
Okay.
Investigate before you invest. Don't rush into things. Slow and steady wins the race.
Slow and steady, I like it. So we've covered saving, budgeting, investing wisely, protecting what you've earned. What else? What's next?
Well, next, he highlights this principle that stood the test of time. It's really quite remarkable.
Okay.
Make of thy dwelling a profitable investment.
Own your home. See, that's something that's still relevant today.
Absolutely.
Thousands of years later.
Thousands of years later. It speaks to the power of real estate.
Hmm.
It's a wealth-building tool, your home. It's more than just a roof over your head. It's a source of security.
It's thinking long term.
Yeah.
And Arkad, he was all about making sure you were taken care of for the long haul.
Absolutely. And that leads us to cure number 6, right?
Yeah.
Ensure a future income.
It's incredible to me, this idea of planning for retirement. It's like having some resources for yourself for when you're not working anymore. This was even a concept back then.
I know, right?
It's amazing to me.
It's amazing. And it shows that some financial truths, they really are timeless.
They really are.
It's like, we might not be facing, Babylonian sandstorms or whatever, but
Right.
life, it throws curveballs.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Oh, yeah.
So planning ahead, it's essential.
It's huge. And then that takes us to the final cure.
Right.
And this one, I think, might be my favorite, just in terms of how relevant it is today.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Cure number 7, increase thy ability to earn. And it's not about just working harder.
Right.
It's about working smarter. It's about
Yeah.
investing in yourself.
Yes, 100%. Knowledge, your skills, those are the treasures that no one can take from you.
Nobody.
No one. And Arkad knew that. The more you learn, the more valuable you become.
So we've covered these 7 cures for a lean purse, right?
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
potent, these principles, for building wealth. But what I think really brings it home are the stories,
Yes.
woven throughout the book.
The stories are so good.
Because we love a good story.
We do. We all love a good story. And Clason uses them so well
He does.
to illustrate these principles in action.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Take the story of Dabasir.
Oh, Dabasir.
Ends up in debt. He loses everything. He even becomes a slave.
It's a tough one.
It's a tough one. And it's a good reminder, though, that even when you have the right principles in place, life can still throw you some curveballs.
It can. But you know what I like about that story? It's not just a warning, right?
No.
It's about redemption. It's about taking responsibility for your own choices.
100%.
Because even after making huge mistakes,
Yes.
Dabasir turned things around.
He used those same 7 cures to rebuild his life.
He did.
Shows that it's never too late.
Never too late
Love it.
to get back on track.
And then there's Sharunada, successful merchant, right?
Yeah, he's doing great.
But he's struggling with a different kind of challenge. His grandson, Hadangula,
Oh, Hadangula.
who expects all this wealth without understanding the work it
A
takes.
classic.
I know. It's like that classic tale of entitlement. You can almost hear him being like, just give me the gold, Grandpa.
Just give me the gold.
Right? And Sharunada, wise as he is, recognizes the danger of that entitlement.
Right?
He knows that real wealth isn't about just having the gold. It's about the character, the work ethic it takes to earn it.
Exactly. And so he's got to teach his grandson a lesson.
Right.
A little crash course in financial responsibility.
Babylonian style.
Babylonian style,
Yeah.
exactly. And eventually, Hadangula learns through experience that the real satisfaction, it comes from the work, from doing something, contributing.
Adding value to the world.
Exactly.
It's not just, inheriting it. I feel like these stories, they add so much to these 7 cures, don't you think?
They do. It makes it real.
Yeah. It's like The Richest Man in Babylon isn't just about, your finances. It's a guide to, a more fulfilling life.
I love that. I think that's a great way to put it because it really does make you think about, what does prosperity actually mean?
Right.
Not just how much money is in my bank account?
Yeah. What's in your heart, too?
What's in your heart, your mind? Yeah.
What if the real treasures of Babylon weren't the gold and the jewels, but they were really about the principles, the habits of thinking, of acting that really lead to that wealth?
It's a good question. It's really something to think about, isn't it? As you go about your week, how can you apply those ancient Babylonian secrets to your life?
I love it.
Not just to build your bank account, but to build a richer life.
A richer life,
Yeah.
yes. That's it?
a more meaningful life.
Oh, I love it. Well, this has been such a fascinating deep dive.
It has.
And we hope these, ancient yet timeless principles help you unlock your own path to prosperity. Until next time, keep seeking those treasures.